Hi! Welcome to this part of my review featuring the alien role-playing game core rulebook. If you haven't seen the other parts of this review, please check out the playlist in the description below. This time we are going to take a look at the careers. We start with the Colonial Marine. Most of your friends will never see another world, but not you. As soon as you were old enough, you signed up for the USCMC. The pay is crap, and the food is worse. But you've always got a bunk to sleep in, and you get to shoot all sorts of weapons at all sorts of things. Life in the corps is never dull, but the luster has begun to fade. You've seen things that you'll never be able to forget, and plenty you wish you could. Your key attribute is strength. Some of the key skills of this career include close combat, ranged combat. When it comes to career talents, you have things such as overkill and past the limit. When it comes to your personal agenda, maybe you are a decorated hero, you need to defend your reputation at all costs. Or maybe you once helped cover up a war crime. No one must ever know this. When it comes to appearance, maybe you have a scar, or you have personalized body armor. Concerning signature items, maybe you are carrying the dog tags of a lost friend, or maybe a bullet that you have survived. When it comes to gear, maybe you are armed with an M41A pulse rifle, or the classic M56A2 smartgun. Maybe you are carrying a signal flare or a deck of cards. Next we have the Colonial Marshal. The frontier can be a lawless place. The Colonial Marines are spread thin. They have neither the time nor inclination to mete out local justice. Not to worry, there's a new sheriff in town, and that's you. Most local enforcement officers on the frontier are firmly planted deep in the back pocket of one company or another, but not you. You don't take bribes and you never look the other way. You've made a lot of enemies on both sides of the law, but your colony has the lowest crime rate in the system. It's only a matter of time before you piss off the wrong CEO and corporate sends someone to take care of you, but that's okay, you'll be ready. Your key attribute is wits. When it comes to key skills, you have things such as observation and ranged combat. When it comes to career talents, you have things such as authority and subdue. When it comes to your personal agenda, maybe your longtime partner betrayed you and defected to a crime syndicate. You need to get even. Perhaps you dream of turning in the badge and settling down in peace. You work towards it. When it comes to your appearance, maybe you have an impressive mustache, or maybe you are wearing an old leather jacket. When it comes to signature items, maybe you carry the photo of a loved one, or some news clipping of an unsolved case. When it comes to gear, maybe you are carrying a .357 Magnum revolver, or Armat Model 37A2 12 gauge pump action. Or maybe you are carrying binoculars or a high beam flashlight. Next we have the company agent. You're hungry, space is full of opportunity, and you've been assigned to the frontier to find the next big thing. From insider information to new mineral deposits, or maybe a hitherto unknown life form to exploit, it's up to you to score a win for the company and use it to catapult yourself up the corporate ladder. You tend not to form long-lasting attachments, instead viewing everybody as a commodity to capitalize on. Worry about others later. Right now, it's all about the bottom line. Your key attribute is wits. You have skills such as observation and manipulation. You have career talents such as cunning or take control. When it comes to your personal agenda, perhaps you are greedy for power and never miss an opportunity to get ahead. Or maybe you are a nice guy, but the company is blackmailing you to do its dirty work. It's time to get even. When it comes to appearance, maybe you have an icy glare, or maybe you are wearing an expensive Rolex. Concerning signature items, maybe you are carrying divorce papers, or an Employee of the Year award. When it comes to gear, maybe you are carrying a leather briefcase or chrome briefcase, or maybe you have a gold-plated pen. Next we have the kid. You didn't ask for a frontier life. Your parents brought you into this world kicking and screaming. Grown-ups always ask you what you want to be when you grow up, but all you want to do is to be a kid. You used to fantasize about being an adult, able to stay up late and eat junk food whenever you want. Thing is, most of the frontier adults you know are always miserable and tired. There isn't much to do where you live, so you make your own fun. There's time to grow up later. For now, playing hide and seek in the ventilation system seems the way to go. Your key attribute is agility. You have skills such as survival and mobility. When it comes to talents, you have things such as beneath notice or nimble. Your personal agenda could be that you want to find an adult you can trust, really trust. Maybe you have no family left. Make sure you never end up alone again. Your appearance could be that you look grubby and unkempt, or maybe you have a ponytail. When it comes to signature item, maybe you are carrying a lunchbox covered in stickers, or maybe a bracelet made by an older sibling. When it comes to gear, maybe you have a fishing line or a laser pointer, or a yo-yo, or an electronic handheld game. Next we have the medic. There are 1,000,001 ways to die in space, from exposure to vacuum or unknown contagions, to vicious organisms or getting accidentally shot by a drunken roughneck. In all these scenarios, you're the one carrying the bandages and adrenaline shots. When someone suffers trauma, it's the first few minutes that matter the most. If someone survives long enough to make it to a med pod, you've done your job. You used to be altruistic about frontier medicine, but you've seen enough to become jaded. Too many people in the outer veil are addicted to painkillers, and most colonies are not up to health and safety regulations. That means more people get hurt. Your work is never done. Your key attribute is empathy. You have skills such as mobility or medical aid. You have career talents such as field surgeon or calming presence. When it comes to your personal agenda, maybe you are addicted to a strong painkiller. You protect your stash and your secret. Maybe you've sworn an oath never to take a life, and you mean it. When it comes to your appearance, maybe you look short with tidy hair, or maybe you are wearing spectacles. When it comes to signature items, maybe you are carrying a framed medical certificate, or a letter from a son or a daughter. When it comes to gear, maybe you are carrying a surgical kit, or an IRC MK.50 compression suit, or maybe a Samani E series watch or hand radio. Next we have the officer. When everything is going to shit, the company is holding your crew's pay hostage. There's a mountain of reports to file from that last incident near Thidus, and who knows how many family members back home are waiting in on everyone's minds. It's a good thing you spent all those years training to do this for a living. You're the authority figure, the role model, the voice of your superiors, and the enlisted crew's advocate. You're also the butt of all of their jokes around the mess hall, until it all gets so much worse, and they're looking to you for what to do next. Better hope your training has a solution to this one. Your key attribute is empathy. When it comes to key skills, you have things such as ranged combat or command. When it comes to career talents, you have things such as field commander or pool rank. When it comes to your personal agenda, maybe you come from an officer family. You need to gain promotion or an award soon. Or maybe you messed up in the past. Avoid taking the blame for any more mission screw-ups. When it comes to your appearance, maybe you have a spotless uniform. Or maybe you have a stiff body posture. When it comes to signature items, maybe you have the ship's cat. Or maybe you are carrying a letter of recommendation. When it comes to gear, maybe you are carrying an M4A3 service pistol, or a Rexim RXF M5 EVA pistol, or maybe you are carrying a 6-on PDAT or IFF transponder. Next we have the pilots. The stars are the limit, and they are limitless. You aren't content to keep your feet on the ground, and on the frontier, there's no need to. From starfighters to dropships, freighters to frigates, there's always something that needs flying, and some aerospace stunt that only you can pull off. You aren't in this for the money, although it doesn't hurt. You're a thrill seeker and an adrenaline junkie. Danger is the rush you live for. but stay frosty. Otherwise, the next time you find yourself dodging through an asteroid belt or seeing the ground rush up to meet you, it might be your last moment. Your key attribute is agility. You have skills such as piloting and ranged combat. You have career talents such as full throttle or reckless. When it comes to your personal agenda, maybe you are stubborn and don't like to back down, even if your friends might get hurt. Or maybe you are a loner, always happier when you can do a task without relying on others. When it comes to your appearance, maybe you have steely blue eyes, or maybe you are always chewing gum. When it comes to signature items, maybe you are carrying a pilot's logbook, or a dashboard dancer. When it comes to gear, maybe you are armed with an M4A3 service pistol, or a PRPUT uplink terminal. Maybe you are carrying a maintenance jack, or a 6-on PDAT. Next we have the Roughneck. Someone has to do the manual labor on the frontier, and that someone is you. Life has dealt you some harsh blows, but you've always struck back. You've been in countless barroom brawls. You swear a lot and belch at the dinner table. In short, people find you uncouth. You really don't care. You've grown past the need for niceties. No one works harder than you. You are up before first dawn and finish your workday long after second twilight. You are the cog that keeps the frontier chugging. Your hands are calloused and your face is dirty, and the only thing harder than the work you do is the way you party. Your key attribute is strength. Some of your skills include heavy machinery and stamina. When it comes to career talents, you have things such as resilient or true grit. When it comes to your personal agenda, maybe you are a compulsive thrill seeker. If there is a risk to take, you'll step up and try it. Or maybe you once sacrificed your family for the job. Now you won't let your friends down, ever. When it comes to appearance, maybe you have a broken nose. Or maybe you have wild hair. When it comes to signature items, maybe you are wearing a tool belt. Or maybe you are carrying the photo of a partner. When it comes to gear, maybe you are equipped with a cutting torch or a Watsumi DV303 bolt gun. Or maybe you have a number of doses of hydration or maintenance jack. Then we have the scientist. Every day, new pieces to the puzzle of existence are found on the frontier. Figuring out what makes them fit together could leap humanity over nature's next hurdle, and you are one thesis away from the respect you deserve. Some find you cold and detached. They don't understand that your passion is knowledge. Whether your field is xenobiology, astrophysics, robotics, or even archaeology, there are countless treasures in space, just waiting for someone to trip over the next asteroid and run right into them. Whether or not that's you, you're still the one who understands them better than anyone. Your key attribute is wits. When it comes to key skills, you have things such as observation and comtech. When it comes to career talents, you have things such as analysis or inquisitive. When it comes to personal agenda, maybe your last project was stolen from you. Now you keep many of your findings secret. Or maybe you hate authority and go out of your way to be uncooperative if possible. When it comes to appearance, maybe you are wearing a stained lab coat. Or maybe you have a nervous manner. When it comes to signature items, maybe you are carrying blackmail letters or an unfinished scientific paper. When it comes to gear, maybe you are carrying a digital video camera or a hand radio, or perhaps an M314 motion tracker or a personal medkit. And these are all of the careers. As you can see, they all bring something different to the table. The Colonial Marine is going to be there to keep the group safe. The Colonial Marshal could serve as a leader. When it comes to the company agent, you are there to push some levers and to negotiate. When it comes to the kid, you never know when you need someone quite short and apparently inoffensive to infiltrate certain places. When it comes to the medic, you are there to keep the group healthy. The officer can provide security and backup. The pilot is there to handle vehicles. The roughneck could serve in any situation without specializing too much, and the scientist is there to unravel the truth of things. Overall, there are plenty of options for a well-balanced team, and some of them could handle different things at the same time, For example, if you want some combat potential, the Roughneck can serve in close quarters combat, or the officer or the marshal, so you do not need to rely on the marine all the time. When it comes to negotiations, the marshal, the officer, could provide a helping hand. Thank you for watching this part of the review. If you have any comments or questions, please let me know. And thank you so much to those of you that have been supporting the channel by sending drive-thru RPG gift certificates. If anyone else wants to further support the channel, the information on how to do that will be in the description below. Once again, thank you and see you later.